So I just finished The Library of Broken Worlds by Alia Don Johnson. Let's talk about it. Been a while since I delved into YA, but the blurb caught my attention, so I figured I'd give it a try. It was an odd book. The writing style was definitely not to my taste. Not because the writing or the prose or the characters, but because of the way it was structured. It's really told as a series of stories from the perspective of the main character, of course, as told by the main character to another character. And it's broken up with little interludes to the present where those two can chat a little bit before getting on to the next story. This tends to make the chapters very long, which is not a thing I'm hugely fond of. If you are going to read the book, I highly recommend you watch Spirited Away first. A lot of things will make more sense if you do. There was also a weird use of made up, I think they were pronouns, but they might have also been honorifics. They were weird. They were never explained. You were just expected to understand them. The author does this a lot. They just expect you to figure things out that could have benefited us to just give us half a page of description. So we're not floundering around. But she didn't do this, so we're stuck with trying to guess. And the honorifics were just kind of annoying, and they're everywhere. Because they have the normal ones, and then they have these special ones that seem to apply to deities and sometimes like high-ranking people. It's confusing and weird, and I just wish they had given us a description of what these mean, or just drop it entirely and use normal pronouns so that it doesn't just read really weird. No one's speaking in English anyway, so it's all been translated. Why not translate this one specific little piece? My only other real note is that it's marked as a YA, and on Barnes and Nobles, the age range is 12 to 18, which is standard YA age ranges, which is idiotically broad because a 12-year-old and an 18-year-old don't have the same interests, and this book does not suit a 12-year-old's. It's too complex. But that's more of a gripe of YA than anything else to do with the book. It was a decent book. I wasn't overly happy with the way it ended, just because it kind of ended in a way that nothing's clear, and I like to have at least some of the loose ends wrapped up in the stories I read. But yeah, it was a decent book. I'm sure it'll appeal to teenagers, probably in the 16 to 20 range, which isn't exactly me these days, but it was an interesting book. It was well written, even if I didn't care for the structure in general. I would note that any parents looking for books might consider it a bit too mature for their child. It doesn't have any explicit sex, but it does have sex. It does have nudity. If that's a thing that a parent isn't comfortable with their child interacting with yet, maybe give this book a pass. For an older teen, it's probably fine, but those were my opinions on the book. It's a decent book that's not generally to my taste, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. It had an interesting story with very well developed characters. I just mostly found the story structure a bit frustrating, and the whole weird pronouns that are also honorifics thing that the author had going on and never actually explained. I really just wanted explanations for things at the end. So if that's your kind of book, then you'll probably enjoy it. If not, give it a pass. If you like this video, please leave a like. If not, a dislike. And if you've read the book, let me know what your opinions were down in the comment section. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day.